Hi again. So I've been playing around with the Theremin Etherwave Plus, which gives me control voltage out for both the right hand and the left hand side that I can plug in to the synthesizer.com, which we'll get to. But first, a little bit about the Theremin. Well, not a lot. You can look it up. So here's the Theremin from my point of view. I'm going to plug in to the audio here, and I should have some sound here now. There it is right now. So right hand is pitch, left hand is volume. And it's a pretty basic tone, just it's adjustable a little bit, but I'm going to leave it at this position right here. So the Theremin sounds best with some reverb and echo on it here. I'm using this RE20 Space Echo, and right now I have the echo turned down so it's just reverb, and we're going to listen to what that sounds like, and then I'll turn the echo on. Okay, so here it is without reverb. I'm just going to use the foot switch, kick the foot switch in, and now we got reverb. Okay, so the echo's on, and here it is. Yeah, so it's pretty good. But now we're going to try something else. So I'm going to connect up a couple cables to the control voltage outs, which are on the bottom of the Etherwave. So I'm going to put the orange cable in at the pitch and the black cable in at the control voltage for volume. Okay, so that's going to be my setup now. Okay, so now I'm going to hook up the synthesizer.com to the Etherwave. We've got the cables that drive two things. I'm going to drive the frequency of the oscillator with the right hand side. So plug that in right there. And I'm going to drive the frequency or the intensity and frequency of the filter right here. And I'm putting that level up high. And then I'll just connect the output of the oscillator into the input of the filter. I'm going to take the band pass out, go into a mixer, and I'll take the output of the mixer and I'll go into my reverb, and the output of the reverb goes into the input of this, and I should have sound. I do. So I'm going to set this Q on the resonance down to 0, and now, so instead of controlling volume here on my left hand, I'm controlling the filter frequency. This is still just the frequency. In this case, I've got a lot of choices of what to use. So next thing I'm going to do is turn the Q up on this filter, and I'll get now I'm going to try to make it talk, you know, pretty cool. Okay, we're going to change it. I'm going to pull out the controls here. I'm going to change over to just controlling white noise. So I'm going to take the feed that was going to the oscillator and send it to a different filter here. This one on the right-hand side here. And then I don't need this run right here. So I'm going to source the right-hand side with white noise. So I'll go white noise into that filter. And the left-hand side with pink noise. And let's see if I get something that sort of looks right. I'm going to turn the reverb down on this a little bit. Okay, so now this one here is going to bring up the low rumble. And this one's going to bring in the wind. That's it. Okay, here's a little something here. It's like when we come in on the antenna, it gets higher and higher pitch, but it just kind of like maxes out when you touch it. So this is kind of cool because you can kind of play this in. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to give a little try at creating a full multi-oscillator setup here. I'm going to set these two together as a nice strong bass note, and then have these two over here do a fifth and maybe a third. So I'll just start plugging that in right now. Okay, first I got to get rid of the stuff from the white noise thing, so I'm total these things out. Save them for the next surprise. Yes, that's good. I'm going to take the ramp out of this oscillator and go into that filter. I'm going to go into the second channel of that filter, but make the level the same. Ramp out of this oscillator and go into the next filter. And there we go, that oscillator. And I'm going to play with that one. So let's see what we got here for sound. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is to just listen to this one sound here and dial in this frequency. It's good. Then I'll bring the other one up. There's the fifth. See what we got here now. It's a little too much on that, so I'm going to adjust this. And then here's the harmonics. I'm using filters for these volumes, and so there's a lot of shaping going on. Let's smooth that up, increase that third in there a little bit. All right, so I'm going to use the same patch with the same oscillators and filters, and I'm going to add a little keyboard control just to see what I can do with this thing. So just some real quick setup here. I'm going to basically take the pitch out of here, and I'm going to drive those pitches into all of these oscillators. Okay, I'm going to do a little different here. I'm going to use this orange one to drive to this set over here. That's what's going to work better. So that jump, this jump, a little tight, and now I'll use these. I have this connected right here to do these two oscillators. That'll be better. Okay, let's see what we got for sound. Keyboard's working. Using my elbow to affect this side here. Of course, you can do all that stuff with pedals, but this is sort of way more tactical, or in this case, not tactical. So I've set up a situation here where I've got an oscillator, two oscillators set up in fifths just for interesting things. But I'm going to trigger this with sample and hold. And so here's basically what the patch does. So two oscillators still go into the filter as before, and they will be controlled with this left-hand side for kind of a filter. I'll turn the resonance down a little bit. And I'm not using the other oscillators, so only one channel. I've turned the reverb off just to hear this a little bit better. But now what it is I've taken the low frequency, the LFO++, and I am taking the output of that, which I've adjusted to be a gate. And I am running the right-hand control from the Theremin to modify that. You can see the blinking light here going faster as I get closer and slowing down. I'm going to just turn this way down here so it doesn't distract us. One on the left there. Okay, so then I'm taking the output of that and putting it into multiples because I'm going to send one of them to be the gate for this sample and hold, and which I'll feed with pink noise, taking the outputs to drive that into these two oscillators, the ones that were going to the filters. One other thing I'm doing is I'm taking that gate as well and putting it through an envelope generator just to separate the tones a little bit. So basically this is kind of what this is sounding like. Now I have pulled this thing out so the sample and hold wasn't affecting the pitch, and I'm going to put that in now. Okay, now here's the speed control. Little hands-off experiment here. You don't really have to use your hands. That's all. Thank you.